Lazy is what they called me. And that was the furthest thing from the truth. One thing I'm happy to notice of what is going on in the world right now is that a lot of people are starting to realize the early bird don't catch the worm. A lot of people are starting to realize that um, it's not about how early you wake up in the flow, right? It's not about if you get up at 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. or 9, right? Productivity is not measured by the time or hour, right, on the clock that you get up every flow. Everybody is in their own cycle and flowing in their own circadian rhythm, right? And I can get up at 9 a.m., right? And somebody else can get up at 6 a.m. And we can both have a productive time, both have a productive flow. A lot of people are realizing that the way they have constructed time, the way they have made time up to be is a construct. And people are realizing that in that time construct, that time concept doesn't flow well with most people. It flows well for certain existences, I'll say, but it doesn't flow for most people, right? And I'm happy that a lot of people in the world are starting to recognize it, because when I was younger, 222 on the scoreboard, when I was younger, a lot of people would call me lazy and told me that, I'm not taking advantage of my youth. And I'll keep in mind, I was a child that helped out with my nieces and nephews, my younger siblings. I was an honor roll student my entire life. I played sports year round, was in all types of extracurricular activities, and I was still being labeled as lazy. I was still being told that I wasn't doing enough, that I wasn't taking advantage of enough of opportunities and different things like that, right? This wind just started shaking my laptop when I said that. So literally, I kept being called lazy. But the reality is, I was in my own circadian rhythm. I was literally in flow with my natural thing. Like, getting up at 6 a.m. was the hardest thing for me to do. It was the hardest thing for me to do, because it ain't about whether or not, people be like, oh, you're a night owl or you're an AM person. It ain't about that, right? If you are someone and your flow is meant to be however your flow is meant to be, it don't matter what hour is on the clock. That is insignificant and it's unimportant, right? The level of productivity that you can have each flow is not measured by what time you get up, what time you go to sleep, how many hours of rest you get at night, because, and it's not this fixated number. And I'm just so happy that so many people are starting to see this shit, because I used to tell people this shit all the time. I'm like, listen, I'm not lazy. I need my rest. I had practice today, or I had a game today. I had school for 8 hours, and then I had to go to practice after that. And then I came home and I had to cook and I had to clean and I had to help out with my siblings. And then I had to prepare myself for the next flood. I need rest. I walk to and from school every day on top of exercising at practices and games and different things like that. So I'm like, lazy was the furthest thing, but it was all a part of the mental construct that they formulated in people's minds. And so, like, when your parents are telling you these things enough, I'm just proud of myself that I never believed this shit. I'm proud of myself for never falling, for falling into the mindset like, oh, maybe I am lazy. Maybe I'm not doing enough. No, I was doing more than enough. I was doing more than plenty, and so I'm just happy that the world is finally starting to awaken and realize after that win. I'm just happy and so proud and so glad for one on the clock that people are starting to awaken and see the truth, that there's not really, I don't want to say there's no such thing as lazy, but most people are not lazy. Most people are tired. Most people are exhausted. Most people are overrun. Most people are hyper stimulated. So a lot of people are overrun and undervalued, not fully respected, not being seen, right? It ain't got nothing to do with lazy. When you are showing up 110% every single flow, and what you're being met with is 50% of that, 30% of that, 20% of that. That's the message, beautiful things. 4, 5, 6 was just on the clock. Bend, don't break, baby. 456 was just on the clock. This is Little Pieces of Me, a sanctuary of safety for Alethea's truth to peace purposefully empower. This, or welcome to the land of paradise, empowered by freedom. Um, if you haven't already heard it today, you are beautiful, you are amazing, and I love you. Mm. You are beautiful, you are amazing, and I love you. Tell a friend to tag a friend and tag a friend to tell a friend. Until next time, deuces.